Hello there. I see everyone's in the chat. I decided to start a few seconds early because I just can't wait. I just can't wait. So is everyone hearing me okay? And also I noticed welcome everyone. I noticed a comment here by a woman by the name of Book Bewitched. And I'm curious, Book Bewitched, are you an author? If you are, let's showcase you. And then we have Sherry here. Sherry is going to be on my show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central. I believe I have that right. Hi, Linda. Thanks for coming. Oh, Jennifer P. I'm sorry. We have Jennifer and I are in a group where there's a couple Jennifers. So we call each other by I call them by the last initial. Oh, it's good. It's so good to be with you. And I got to tell you, also another little shameless plug. I'm going to be with Kevin of Kevin Loving's Vibrations at 4:00 on Monday. So that'll be exciting. I had it scheduled for a month ago, but I got COVID and I was so lost in my brain. I did see my phone. I held my phone up. And Kevin says, I never got the link for tonight's live. And I thought, who's Kevin? I was so out of it. It was awful. And anyway, he was so kind. I texted him at the last minute and he was cool with it. And then he texted a little while after. It says, you need to take down the thumbnail, the announcement. I said, what? But I think I did it. I don't know. I went on my phone to wish him a happy Thanksgiving. And I noticed there was an unsent text that said, I am sick. So I don't even know if he understands. I'll have to work it out with him on Monday because it's kind of curious. But I hadn't been that sick for a while. But I am perfectly healthy now. And last Tuesday, now I'm going to try and come on every Tuesday and Thursday just to do a politics and numbers and until that gets too boring for you, and then we'll switch it up. But last week I said to you, oh, show up on Thursday because I have some tea to spill on Rudy Giuliani because I had this big presentation I was going to give you and talk about the numbers and teach you stuff like that. But something came over me. And I got to thinking about Rudy. And Trump, I'm sure you know this already about me, but I'll just make it official. I do not let poor taste get in the way of a good joke. Just part of my charm. Just sort of that sarcasm. And I can dish it for people who I feel are doing our country wrong. Like Trump, I have no trouble because he's actively corrupting stuff. So I won't be lenient on him, but something came over me today, and it's not because it's Thanksgiving. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. What happened to me is that I had queued up. I spent a long time recording and queuing up these videos of Rudy Giuliani, what he's doing now, which is selling product and vitamins. And these videos are because that's the only way he's making money is to sell stuff like pills and stuff. So on this one video, he put the powder in his water. I'm sure you've seen it. And he didn't have a spoon. So he took the scissors, which was hilarious, actually. These orange handled scissors and stirred it to drink his powder. And then he didn't just put the scissors down. He licked it off or something. And I thought, oh, that's so weird. And I thought, I'm going to show this on my YouTube channel when I talk about Rudy. And then I thought, he is a bad man. He's always been narcissistic. He's always been a bully. He's um, always been self-centered and profits for himself. And as far as September 11th, he was still a bad man that had a few good days. So he has been, I'm going to tell you about his numbers soon, but he has been challenging the world for all of his public life, at least. But I thought, this man is to the point where he's selling vitamins. And the sponsors are paying him to sell a powdered drink. And he has zero credibility, not even with all these Russian spies who are now getting caught. And then I thought, who would be the bully today? Now that we've been witnessing someone fall from grace. And then I go around and say, oh, look how pitiful he is. So I decided to cut the big videos and just tell you about the numbers. I did add Ron DeSantis, because I have a little something about him. But there's the curious parts about Trump. And I talked about Trump in his 9 personal year. His life path number is 4, which makes him, the shadow side of a 4 is stubborn, critical. It's what he's showing now. That's his shadow side. And so that part, he's in alignment. But when someone decides to do their life and all their actions point to what's in it for them, something's going to happen. And falling from grace is what I highlight, because it teaches people how to recognize, find someone you think is going crazy, find their birth date, do the numbers, and study the numbers from there. And you will be an amazing numerologist. So that's what I encourage. So as far as him, I mean, Giuliani idealized Trump for a long time because they had a relationship even in New York. Let me tell you about Giuliani now. He's having a 4 personal year. Now, everybody, I've been talking about 4 personal years for a while. They are tedious. You can start new things in a 4 personal year. I mean, you can start a business, you can start painting, you can start anything your heart's desire. It's just that you can't walk away from what you need to button up. And I use the book example where, in a 3 personal year, you write a book. The 4 personal year, you have to get it edited and the book cover and do all that behind the scenes stuff. And you can, and then you go on from there. But with a 4 personal year, you have to pay attention. If you want that book to go anywhere on the 5th personal year, you got to do all this stuff. And so he has not done that, because what he was doing, he was so fractious that he started spiraling and not finishing up anything. Declare that the machines were rigged, but can't prove it. Admitted that he can't prove it. So he can't tie up loose ends at all. I want to tell you what life path number he is, though. It's a 33. We're going to talk about 33 life paths. There's not many of them out there. So the master numbers, they're not easier lives. You think, oh, I'd like to be a walk-in because they're wise. I want to be an 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. I did meet 155. One person who was a 55, and that's another show entirely. But it's 11 is the intuitive, the 22 is the builder, and the 33 is the master teacher. And when someone feels they have to teach the world whatever they know and that the world should comply, then we have some problems. 33s are rare, but in my practice, 22s are even rarer because 22 people, or the master builders, they're too busy building. They're building their art, and they're building art or creativity. They're building buildings, literally. They are in at the head of all these workers for their contract, and they let their architecture speak. They don't have to go on TV or have a YouTube channel, right? So I don't have very many 22s in my practice. But the 33s kind of pop out whenever there's someone in public life, because that's in alignment with their purpose. They are the master teachers, and there's a lot of 33s that are not in public life that are doing really good work. But then we have Rudy Giuliani and his 33. So I had a question here by, excuse me, let me pull this up. Does it have to be life path only? So it's a mix. So for instance, if you are, let's say Trump, he's an easy one. I'm going to target him. Trump is a 4 life path. That brings its own personality and traits. It also brings him things to learn in this lifetime, the challenges to learn in this lifetime. A healthy 4 life path person is a quiet seeker. They look at life and form their own opinions without interjecting. They can be stubborn and everything else, but man, they will be on time. They're usually honest as the day is long. That's the light side of them. And so you have that, and they're smart and they're diligent, and they will do things. Delayed gratification. They will have delayed gratification, means they'll stay in school for that certificate or that diploma or whatever they're going for. And that's it. But on the shadow side, we have Trump, where his diligence comes in with taking money and being famous. His diligence is using people to gain wealth. And I don't have to go into a whole bunch of that. So that's his 4 personal year. You pull in, I'm sorry, life path number. I'm confusing you. So that means you add up the month, the day, and the year they were born all in a row, and you'll come to an end, and there will be a double-digit number, and you reduce it to one number for a personal year. No, for the life path number, you keep reducing it down until you get to a single digit. But if the end is 11, 22, 33, 44, you don't reduce those. Those go in a different category. I think I confused you. I think I'm confused. I'm getting hot. I think I messed that up. Nonetheless, so Trump is a 4 life path, and forever he's had this stubbornness and some passive aggressive. You put a 9 personal year on it, he has to give up some of those things. He's got to give up something that isn't working for him. Now, decades ago, because it goes in 9-year cycles, and I reverse engineered his life, he would still be doing the same and profiting pretty much the same if he hadn't gone into politics. 2016 was like his 1 personal year. He started something new, something completely different. Either the 2015 or 2016 when he was. So that's when I was thinking it was the only thing. I wasn't studying numerology as much in those days, but if I had, that would be a clue that maybe he would win election, because it was starting a brand new 1 personal year. And his corruption came into it. But now he's at his next end of the cycle, and it's just, see what happened? He just didn't give up what wasn't working for him. He wanted to remake America, or remake the world, and his power overwhelmed him, and it delighted him. His power delighted him. Giuliani is a 33 master teacher. So the shadow side of that is they always know what's best for everybody. They're controlling. And if they are in power, sometimes they can abuse it. They enjoy it very much. But if you don't take their advice, they will act out or dismiss you or get you out of their life, or like you mean nothing to them if you don't respect their advice and take their advice and thank them for their advice. That's the shadow side. The other side is that you have so much potential to do great things. So let me look before we get too far in here there. I'm thinking Gina Maria, I've been told you're 22, master builder. I could see that. And we've got, hi, Janelle. Hi, it's good to see Janelle. I'm going to draw attention to Janelle. She's been so nice to come to my channel. And then because I don't know who I am just yet on the channel. And then I went off into NDEs and personal readings. And she was so nice to say, hello, I came to your channel because of the politics and the numbers. And I thought, oh yeah. So thank you so much. Because if you say it, if one person says it, I know there's a lot of people that are saying it. So thank you so much. So she says, I don't think Trump has learned anything this lifetime. It's the stubbornness and the righteousness. But remember, he had his Roy Cohn. He's had his father. And so there was his father was broken. He's a broken man being raised by a broken man, that type of thing. But I think the reason he became powerful is because of what I'm going to say next. Let me just, about the 33s. I am unclear, probably, if it's the day, year, or the day, year. The date, see, I'm unclear. So a life path number that never, ever, ever changes. You simply add the month, the day, and the years. So the year of your birth. So if you were born January 1st, 2020, you would add 1 for January, 1 for the month, the day, and then 2 for 2022, and the second 2. So it would be 4, 5, 6. You would be on life path 6 if you were born on that day. The personal year changes every calendar year, and that will give you blessings and challenges. If you keep up on those blessings and challenges as it goes, you can manifest well. And so how you do that is you add your month, January would be 1, your day, 1st, so that'd be 2, and then 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3, which is the current year. You would add that up as 1 and 1 and then 7, because 2 plus 3 is 7. And that's how you get your personal year. Once you know your personal year, this is what I suggest you do. In your phone, make a note of the year 2023 and your personal year. It'd be a single digit. Even if it added up to 22, you'd still go down to a 4 because the personal numbers are always single digit. And then you'll always have it. So you know that in 2020, so it adds up to 6. Let's say your personal year is 6 for 2023. It'll be 7 in 2024. And you don't have to worry about what universal year it is. It'll always just kind of, and when it gets to 9, the next year is going to be a 1 because it always goes in cycles. So that's how you figure it out. And I know it's kind of hard. Oh, I wonder if I should say something now. I might as well, because I've confused you so much, and I'm so sorry. I want to talk about the politics, but then people are interested in their numbers, and I understand that. And this is where, Janelle, this is where I get straight away. So I'm going to get back on track. I am starting a new channel, fresh. It'll still be me, but I got this name called I Have Your Number is the name of the channel, but there's nothing there yet. It's just my picture. But I was thinking with the nuts and bolts of where I am, what's my personal year, that conversation will be on that channel. So people who enjoy that exploration of self, then we can get into it that way. I would like to, and when that's up, I'm going to just keep the politics here, keep the current events here, and do the numbers that way, so I can make everyone happy. That's my goal. Make everyone happy. Sorry to confuse you. Okay, so wait. See, how do you calculate personal year? I just said it. I probably confused you. Oh, Lily, you're sweet. Are you talking to me? Okay. Wonderful. So we can, you're right, because if you know, Janelle, when you know your personal year, my personal year is 6. So I look at people acting badly out in the world, in the news and stuff. And if they're having a 6 personal year, I get to see myself in them. Do I do that? Do I do that? So I did that with I forgot the celebrity that was acting poorly one time, and I did the number, 6 personal year. Well, that's my personal year. And I saw them being a bully or, rushing into anger and being a perfectionist. And I thought, oh, that's me. So you can be a better person if you can see where you are. Because philosopher says some people see good and do good. Some people see bad and do good. Some people want to experience that for themselves to decide whether it's good or bad. I would much rather understand myself and stay on the side of good instead of, I do test things out. Okay. Jennifer, let's go for the politics. Has everyone eaten? You're funny. Thank you, Janelle. You're the one that gave me the idea. Your new channel will help us with that. Thank you so much. It'll take a little while for me to get it set up, but I am doing it. So the politics, let's get back to the politics. Guiliani is a 33 life path. That's the master teacher. The shadow side of that is going to be all about, I know everything. And there is absolutely no doubt that they know best. And so they can be very perfectionist. They can be really perfectionists. And that will make them a little passive aggressive. So that's the shadow side. Usually, because master numbers have different opportunities. Not all of them are famous, of course, but they have opportunities to grow and teach what they came down here for, right? And so in their sliver of knowledge, when I have discovered in my practice, this that goes for a lot of the numbers, is that once a person has the first taste of power, then usually they go on the shadow side of their number. That's what happened to Giuliani. But since Giuliani was like Trump, kind of corrupt, I'm just going to say it, corrupt and mean-spirited. Giuliani was really mean-spirited. He still is. But once they find kinship, then we have politics like today. So let me inform you what we've got going here. Rudy Giuliani is a 33. Marco Rubio is a 33. And I forget what personal year he is, but he's kind of keeping it low. Lauren Boebert is a 33. Tom Cotton is a 33. Kristen Sinema, 33. George W. Bush, a 33. Clarence Thomas, a 33. You see how hubris gets the brass ring? Because the loud ones usually get what they want. Leads us to believe leads us to believe that they're powerful, but they're just loud. So the good ones, we got some good ones, real good ones. We got Pramila Jayapal and Elizabeth Warren, Bruce Willis, Greta Garbo. These are all people that kind of changed society and the world, sometimes the world, but like John McEnroe, he made a statement about women and men in sports way back in the day. Jennifer Lawrence. Now, if you read her life, you would notice that she like quit school at a young age and just did what she wanted to do. Now, blessings to her parents that allowed her to do that. I saw this on a talk show and she just knew what she was going to do and she did it. And then as she moved forward in her confidence, 33 confidence, doors opened up. You see what I'm saying? So it does sync up for nice, but once you're in the limelight, be careful, because if she's in a movie with like, if she was young in a movie, you know, if there's a child actor in a movie that's a 33, they can be like little tyrants asking for things because they're a star, that kind of thing. Now, I think Jennifer Lawrence has a better grasp on everything, but she is changing the world and we enjoy what she's doing. Robert De Niro, Stephen King. Imagine his books. I read an article about Stephen King, and he loves to write. He went to a movie. I think it was Stephen King. I read that he went to a movie just to get out of his office. And in the middle of the movie, he just got up and walked home and finished the book because the muse came to him. He wasn't paying attention to the movie. He couldn't even tell you what movie it was, but that's how he works. And then Steve Carell. So there's many more people on the planet that are 33s that are. Oh, yeah, I said Bruce Willis, didn't I? Bruce Willis had that hubris and arrogance and power because he was so good at his movies. But see, what comes first, the talent or the accolades? I'm sure, you know, he did work for what he got. And I'm not saying life is easier, but this is the rub. Clarence Thomas is a 33 master number, thinking the world should do whatever he says. His wife, Ginny, is an 11 life path, the intuitive. Now, I know some psychics on here have said that they think Ginny is ruling the roost, you know, taking Clarence on a ride because of her power. I'm here to say that that may not be true in my view, because a 33 life path is more organized than an 11. And so I imagine Clarence Thomas and Ginny, you know, at the breakfast table, and he says, I don't think I like abortion anymore. We should just get rid of that. And Jenny says, okay. And she starts a foundation or she starts a movement because she can. He tells her how to organize it. And once she's got that clear path, she's very, very good at it. So as hard as this is for me to say, they are both in alignment with their life path number. They're both in the limelight, influencing a lot of people. But it's how much hubris you have with power that's going to knock you down, any number down. Janelle says, they are both very strange. Best friends, please. Yes, I know. The thing is that I can see where they can get, these unspoken understandings and assumptions. You know, when you're with someone and you love them, what, for good or bad, you do have assumptions about them. You form assumptions, you try and figure out what they want and then mirror back that best self to them and support them that way. They have it in spades because they're both master numbers. So That was good. Say, can you add the couple together for 44? Uh, now, I like Rose. I like that concept. And you may want to explore that on your own. But I have discovered with numerology that there is an onion, a real onion. And I've never had anyone say they would add up a couple that way, but I'm not saying that you can't have it. And yes, it would reduce to 8. It would be a 44 and then an 8. So that is quite interesting, very much power. And also like Krista Cinema is an 8 personal years, all about the money. A lot of these are in 8 years. It's just fascinating. So I would encourage you, Lily, to go down that rabbit hole and explore. For what I do is I keep it really, really, really simple. I might explore it more on my new channel, on my other channel, but the first thing that served me well as an advisor is the life path number, because that tells me what they might be struggling with. The 2 digits before the number is what they're struggling with, and then I can enter the room of knowing from there. It's a pathway into the reading, that type of thing. Then I noticed how, and I studied for myself, put theory into action with personal years before I even took it onto readings. And I saw that the personal years and the cycles of that were really helpful. But you can go online and your day, the combination of your day's number means something. And oh gosh, if you're born beginning of the month, there's numbers are fascinating, but I use the first 2 to evaluate, because the life path number mixed with the personal year number is fascinating. Like here it is, the 9 personal year for Trump, and he's a 4, which means I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to make this work. In the past, I had people like Roy Cohn take care of it, and then all the other people, and things are not working out for him. And so it's interesting. I'd highly recommend anybody who has that thought. I love you. I love this, Lily, so much, because this is how I started. So be careful, just that question. And then what you're going to see, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see someone on TV that either impresses you or disgusts you. And you'll hit Wikipedia. So what's that person's number? And then you start learning the numbers from that. I learned the numbers through other people's poor behavior first. It's been a delight. I've really enjoyed it. So I did bring, I just want to, I'm going to check for questions here that are not number related. I'm sorry. I just want to see. Oh, Gina, Maria. Whoa, someone's impressed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm just, Dennis is here. Take the month and date. See, look, rabbit hole, told you. I love that. Look at all that adding up. So 8 is your year. So that means, okay, so let me give you a hint. 2023. Did you do that right? Yeah. 7. Yeah, you did. So if you're in an 8 personal year now, you have built, so your 7 is what is your alignment with spirit. The 8th is bringing what you know from that into reality in a tangible way. It could be the way you do business in an honest way. It could be, as long as you stay in that alignment, do unto others what you would, want done unto you. I don't care what your theory is, but you align to that, and then doors open in the 8 personal year. The 9 personal year, next year, 2024, is asking you to give up what just doesn't work. It could be your business that started. You're going to give up on playing it small. You're going to make investments, or you're going to, it could be, if you're not married, the 9 personal year might mean, hey, I'm through with being alone. All of that, that's how it goes. But good for you on the numbers. Oh, that rabbit hole. I love that rabbit hole so much. And we're going to go down here. I'm just going to see. Both are very strange friends. Yeah. So I'm looking here. So Lily, I don't know if that's in regards, but yeah, you can go nuts with the numbers, man. That's for sure. So thank you, Dennis. Oh, you're at 2911. See, I could. This is why I need to go to the other channel. I know your number because I need to get back to the politics at hand. Oh, Carolyn, nappy time for Carolyn. Good night, sweetheart. She says, everyone have a beautiful evening. Nap time for me. I know. Right around 3 in my time, I like to stretch it out. So one of the ways I'm going to say something that I was on a show and it made someone uncomfortable because didn't like the sound of it, but that's why I put DeSantis here, because it's a perfect showcase what a personal year is and how it doesn't work out for you. So we've got the 9 here for Trump. We've got a 4 personal year for Rudy, Rudy, and he's a 4, and he didn't take care of business, so now he's paying the price. Trump isn't giving up what doesn't work for him anymore, and he's going to jail, or whatever equivalent that is. Now, Ron DeSantis, as much as you hate him, I'm not fond of him at all, but he's in a 3 personal year, which is all about creativity. So, and his wife is they're 3 life path number. He's a 3 life path number. So they're always cooking up something. They're never going to go hungry, right? But there'll be plenty of pudding. I had to say it, sorry. So he is in a 3 personal year for 2023. In the beginning of this year, do you remember what he was doing? The woke stuff, and I'm going to get rid of people that are gay and books, and I'm going to stop abortions, and then breed this culture of wokeness, even though he didn't have a definition for that, but he was always creatively saying things and building a creative network. At the beginning of the year, so life doesn't care what you create. It's that you create. And how life supports that is by in his case, giving him an audience, giving him receptive people around him. So when he says, I don't like woke, I'm going to attack woke or whatever it is, and he gets that applause, well, that's food for him. The trouble begins is when you create an atmosphere that isn't all inclusive. It isn't like you're writing a book or, I don't know, propping up the food bank might have been nice, that kind of thing. So what happens is that if he was creating a new food bank, he would have an audience there applauding as well. It doesn't matter what you create, it's that you create. But whether that creation has legs, whether it can be anchored into the world full time, whether you can save your reputation, is all about the quality of the creating. That's why I have him here in our picture today. So have you noticed that he was really applauded at the beginning of the year, and he's starting to lose ground, starting to lose popularity? Because as the year gets closer to the end, it starts around September, the numbers shift to the next personal year. So anything you create in a 3 personal year has to be tended to and nurtured in a 4 personal. I write a book in the 3 personal year. I get all creative, write a book, I edit it, I do the hard work. To have that book be in the world and on shelves and in people's homes, I need to do the hard stuff. So when he goes and says, I don't like gay people, he has to anchor that, which he tried to. I mean, he's done pretty good about anchoring it into laws and stuff like that will just be overturned because it's not inclusive. It's not the party of fairness. It's not the Democratic Party. It's the party of fairness, and anybody can join. So that's a really good example of how to. So at the beginning of the year, and like Clarence Thomas and Jenny with their master numbers, they're in alignment with what they're supposed to be. Now, Clarence Thomas is in a 9 personal year. He's been told, or he knows, he intuited that he's got to give up taking money from rich people because it's going to be exposed. And of course it was, of course. So he didn't give that up. And now he's in a situation. Jenny, his wife, is in a 5 personal year, meaning that life is going to dictate or give scenarios that she's going to have to deal with. It's a 5 personal year is all about change, and change that is kind of out of your control. Don't freak out if you're a 5 personal year, and because 5 personal years can be awesome. But it's just like Don Jr. He's in a 5 personal year, and I believe Eric is too. Don't quote me on that. Nonetheless, that means they are the audience to see what's happening to their father. They can get all upset and it gives speeches. That's 5 really gives you voice, and so they're doing okay in the 5, but they cannot will or pay off someone to make their father not being in trouble. They can't do it. Life is taking control of the situation, and they're just going to have to live with it. Be okay with it, ride the wave, learn what needs to be learned, and be a better person, or just fight about it. So I just think it's interesting the way people move into their greatness. I applaud anyone who moves into their greatness. And the bottom line is, if you create with others in mind, to benefit others, to delight yourself, if you create in that manner, there's going to be blessings coming your way. Doors will open. If you resist, I know that sounds so easy, but if you resist that and try to exclude people from your greatness, which that's what Trump did, he's excluding people from his greatness, from their greatness with his greatness, then it's just, you're building your house on sand. Can't happen. Can't work. So here we go. We've got T. Jones. Does Trump's 9 personal year end on his birthday? Thank you so much. Or the first of, remember I was telling you I keep things simple. And there are a lot of ways you add up numbers. There's a couple ways you add up numbers. I do it the easy way, 1 digit at a time, just instead of grouping all the numbers and going into karmic debt and all this. I don't believe in karmic debt. But anyway, so I just do it 1, and I always do the personal year as the calendar. And here is why. To know yourself, would you really get into numerology and understand these principles? If you had to say, okay, I'm a 6 until July, my birthday, and then I turn in a 7, but the universal year hasn't changed yet. So that means for 6 months, I'm going to have this blessing and that blessing and challenge. And then when it's the new year, I'll have, no, not going to happen. So many, I was going to say astrologers, I don't know astrology, and many numerologists go calendar year because that's easier. And I have found that it works. It's not like I'm making up a new theory. It's been out there. It was the easiest for me because when I work on the hotlines, I do 1 call after another. When I work, and when I work with private clients, I want to make sure everything's, I don't want to have to do a lot of math. I want it easy. And I want also my clients to understand where they are if they're interested, so they can run, they have more power over their decisions, I think. And we have Trump personal year is at the beginning of the new year. So I'm forgetting that people aren't watching this. Sometimes they're just listening. The question is from Dennis. So it's Trump personal year is the beginning of the new year. So when 2024 comes, the numbers will change. Yes. And I believe, and I'll just throw it out there. I wonder if you guys would think about this. But what I have noticed, and I've never really put my hat on about it, but what I have noticed is that September is when the numbers shift. And when the season shifts, it's like a lot of people leave the planet. I don't know why. It just seems like during September, October, November, around there, the end of the year, it's like people are saying, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So I don't know. That's just something Janelle, it should be a higher vibration. Yes. All of these characters are stretching their shadow side beyond their limits. And it's how we self-assess. We witness, try not to judge, like I was judging with Guiliani, but try not to judge and get angry at it, but just self-assess. We're going to see bad and do better and do good. We're going to see bad and do good because our vibration, when the time comes to vote and all that stuff, the army of good vibrations is going to show up and come out. And I fully expect this will be our finest hour. Now, I did think about this. In 2016, when Trump was running for president, I thought it was a joke. I knew it was a joke, but I was watching certain things happen that were disturbing, and I'm not going to go into those disturbing things, but things happened where people were voting against Hillary, not for Trump, but against Hillary, and so all that happened. But God bless her. And if anyone finds her on the internet, I want to talk to her so bad. She was a beautiful psychic, a beautiful woman with long hair. Sometimes she'd be in her robe, had a cup of coffee in the morning. I just adored her. But I hung on every word because she said, don't worry about it. Just like I'm saying, don't worry about it. Trump isn't going in. This is the season for the woman. And she was looking on the lighter side of that. And do you know how many nights I was able to sleep because of her prophecy? I hung on every word and I shared her videos. Look. She is saying the stars or whatever her intuition says he's not going to win. Sure, he won. But I could have had so many sleepless nights. And I really appreciate her. Now I'm trying to find her, and she's not on the internet that I can find to thank her for this. Now, when I say the numbers speak to me, and I can see where everything's tumbling down, Geronimo's tumbling down, I'm doing it. I'm doing it with numbers that make sense to me. Numbers I've tested out, and unless we really are in alien land and the draconians are working with us. No, I'm not conspiracying nothing. But, I really feel this will be our finest hour. Next year, we're getting stronger and stronger. And another thing, a little bit of advice. If you freak out, go online and YouTube and type in Republicans that have left the party. Republicans that have left the party, and you will have video after video after video about people who left the party. And it's not just political. There's one old lady there, really older lady. She goes, I stopped being a Republican because they started to be so mean. So I said, well, whatever takes you on the other side, that's fine. So say, oh wait, I don't want to. I want to say, I'm just looking. We get people who put us in the right frame of mind. Yes, Holly, that's what we do. And so it gives us, it's so valuable. I mean, people watch Linda G and she sorts things out. And I watch Andre, he sorts things out. And when you listen to him, it's all good. It's good reasoning. It really is good reasoning. And it helps so much. And I so appreciate that. I was devastated when he got in. I didn't hold it against her at all. We are in the densest planet in the solar system, right? So I don't hold it against her at all, but I sure appreciated her. So if you ever see long hair, beautiful woman with long brown hair wearing a bathrobe and having a cup of coffee talking about astrology or something, she's my girl. I'd love to have her channel. So we've got another one. I believe Trump's role in our country has been to uncover the weakness in our Constitution so we can straighten it up and rebuild. But you know what? I agree with you. But guess what? I'm going to go down the rabbit hole for just a minute more. I was born in the era without computers. I didn't get into a computer until I moved to California, which was 2003, but I got a job, like a real job. I've always owned my own business. And I made this move. I was really broke. I got this job and I made in a corporation and I made it last to the point where if they fired me, which I knew they would, because I don't belong in a corporation, I would get unemployment. Terrible. So with a day came that they fired me and it was great. So I went to an employment officer, big building, and I signed up for all the computer classes and things like that. So my life changed for the better during that. So I struggled for 5 years financially, but it all worked out, right? So maybe people here listening to me, if you're anything like me, you were born in an era that there wasn't a computer. So we don't relate to the people who are born in with computers. When you're solitary with your phone, your computer, and you're researching, I'm sorry, when you're researching, you don't pay attention to the news. Civics taught in high school, junior high, all that stuff is just one semester. And if it doesn't catch fire with you there, who cares? And besides, you can't vote, blah, blah, blah. This generation needed our country, sorry to say it, to wake them up to where, oh, school shooting? Oh, there's a school shooter? Oh, something else happened? Some injustice. The injustice, and then having those school students get up to the mic and start talking about banning guns and getting political. See, none of that would have happened unless the worst of us started acting out poorly and said underlying anger that grows in our society. And that's when it makes people so mad that they start standing up, figuring out, and all, if I'm being honest, it wasn't until I saw hope with Barack Obama, a change in that, is that I really started studying my civics. And now I'm a highly educated voter, but for years I wasn't. I would just sometimes vote for the loudest one in the room. I'm sorry. That's what happened with Trump. He was the loudest one in the room, right? A lot of kids voted for him. So anyway, one more tidbit. Today marks the 60th anniversary of JFK's shooting. I believe that was the birth of conspiracy theories, was that incident. That's when our country had a choice to discern information. Of course, it was harder then. We didn't have computers and even because I might read something on the computer, but if I can't find that same statement several times from different sources, I'm not going to say it. So I've learned it that way. But I think the conspiracy theories and all that stuff, what brought us here. And Trump being so bombastic and offending everyone, if that didn't happen, we would not be defined in this 7 universal year. 7 universal year, we start defining who we are at soul level, on a humanitarian level, define ourselves on a spiritual level, basically. And if if people didn't look up from their laptops to take advantage of the blessings of a 7 universal year, we'd be a dictatorship. But we're not going to be that. We've all woken up. There's so many people who used to be Republican, now they're not. And I really believe this is, we've done good. We just still have to vote, send our money to people we want to support. Gina Maria, I'm a science major, and started organizing in middle school. Oh, I bet you did, Gina Maria. You are wonderful. You are a creative person. Don't you say you were a 22 master builder? So you're building. Good awareness. And yes, thank goodness for Biden's leadership. I got to tell you, I was nervous about Biden, and here's why. He's a 2 life path. And 2 life path is the ambassador. He's the mediator. He's able to see both sides. And a shadow side of a 2 life path is that you blend your boundaries. And, he's a good politician, he finds middle ground, and he's good on a handshake, and, backslap, and let's agree to that, let's go. And I was afraid he wasn't going to be strong enough. His 2 personal year isn't going to be strong enough. But of course, he became quite defined. And that's one of the blessings of your 2 life path number. When you become defined, people adore you, love you, and life is going to support you well. So I agree. God bless. It is. Oh, we're going to have tomorrow. Sherry and I are going to come on, and at 11 my time Pacific, and then 1 her time. Anyway, we're going to have some fun. So join us. If it was just going to be free form, might do readings, might do politics. I don't know where we're going to go with that. And so I never read with her. I haven't really seen her in action. This is all brand new. So it could go one of 2 ways, like be really fun or really, really fun. So tune in to figure it out. So God bless everyone. And in the name of all things good, may you have a wonderful holiday and eat all the turkey you can stuff. And God bless you. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Love you all. Bye-bye.